welcome to Alive Wellness. My name is Emma, I'm your Pilates instructor and I'm really excited for week number 2 of our beginner mat Pilates series. Now just like week 1, we're going to be working slow, we're going to be using the breath to guide the movement. We're still wanting to find that length and that ease as we move, but we're going to be adding a few more layers now. We're going to work through a few more planes. I want you to focus a little bit more on posture and listen to the cues I'm going to give you to grow taller, to open up a little bit wider, to make sure you're standing taller, you're moving easier, and really just allow your body to kind of dive into the movement that I'm giving you today and really listen, as I said, to all these little cues and tips, because as I said in week number 1, I want you to take this word of Pilates and not be scared of it, but really understand how it can help you just feel so much better as you move through your day. Now, if you do like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Honestly, it helps us so much. We want to just continue to give you guys more videos every single week. So any comment means so much to us. Now we're going to start on our knees today, so in a slightly different plane. So I want you to find your 4-point kneeling position. Now in this position, I want you to have your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Now we're having our nice long neck here. So just like week 1, I want you to think of that string through the crown of your head. Someone is pulling that string, lengthening your neck, lengthening your spine. Now from here, you're going to drop your ribs down towards the mat. As we begin to inhale, we arch our lower back, we look up to the ceiling. Then we're going to exhale, you're going to curve the spine, press your hands into the mat, send your spine away from the mat, drop your head down, take a lovely big arch in the other direction. So we inhale to look up, and we exhale to look down. Now really take your time here. I want you to just warm up the back. As I said, we're going to be working through a few postural cues today. So we want the spine to be nice and warm and mobile. Let's take one more in either direction. So looking up with that inhale, looking down with that exhale. And then find that point in the middle where we're in neutral. This is our neutral spine. We've got a string through the crown of our head. We're gently engaging through the core and we're staying nice and strong through our arms. Now from here, you're going to shift your weight onto your right knee and your left hand. I want you to send the opposite arm and leg out long. Now allow them to float up till they come in line with your spine, and then gently let them come back down to your mat. And we're going to really easily shift the weight to the other side. Send them out long first, then lift up. Engage the core slightly, gently release down. Now we're in a bit more of a functional position here. I want you to really focus in this position on that core strength. So you do need to activate through the belly lightly so that our hips stay level, our spine stays lengthened, and we allow that activation in the core to support the pelvis. We exhale each time we reach our arm and leg out. Inhale to drop them back down. Press really gently into the mat. We want to be strong through the arms, but we don't want to be locking our arms out. You want to keep a soft bend through those elbows just to support our joints here. Let's just take one more like this. Then I want you to drop the arm and leg back down. Just push through your child's pose for a second. So drop your hips towards your heels, reach your arms forward, allow your head to drop gently onto your mat. Feel that length in the spine. Then you're going to press your hands firmly into the mat. We're going to come back up, roll back up into our hands and knees. We're going to work through one more exercise in this position. So let's go back to that right knee and left hand are planted down. The other arm and leg are going to float up and come back in line with the body. This time we pause. Now from here, you're going to engage the stomach a little bit deeper as you draw that opposite arm and leg in towards your center and then extend them out nice and long. So we draw them in, engage that belly, extend out, lengthen them out. Let's take an inhale as we tuck and an exhale as you find that extension here. Again, we're focusing on that spine and pelvic stability. We're moving through a slightly more functional position. We're adding that balance with our opposite arm and leg. Let's just take one more here. Allow them to float back down and then really seamlessly shift to the other side. Now once they're in line with the spine, pause. Feel that stability through the body. We're going to tuck in as we inhale. Exhale, extend out. Now I want you to check in with your head again. We're not dropping it down. We're not looking towards ourselves. We're keeping our head nice and lengthened. We still have that string through the crown of our head, allowing us to stay in our neutral spine, to move for function and to move for ease. Let's take two more here. On that next one, again, I want you to float the arm and leg down. Let's press into child's pose just for one breath here. So take a nice long inhale. Exhale, we're going to roll straight back up onto our hands and knees. Now I want you to continue to come down onto your stomach. We're going to be working through our thoracic spine. Now this is the upper back. This is the part of your back that supports your posture. So I want your toes untucked. You're going to press the top of your foot down into the mat. And we're going to place our hands directly on top of each other and underneath our forehead. Now our forehead is touching our hands. I want you to tuck your pelvis under, activate those glutes slightly to support your lumbar spine. Now from here, we're going to really slowly float our upper back off the mat. Keep your feet down, keep those glutes active, then release back down onto the mat. So we're just coming up to a little hover. The head and hands move together. We release back down. Exhale to come up. Inhale to come down. Now as you move here, you only want to be feeling that upper part of your back working. If you feel that lumbar spine, you're coming up way too high. So notice with me, it is just a tiny hover. The glutes stay on, the feet stay down. We're trying to bring and build some strength into the upper back so that as you move through your day, you can feel that upper back supporting your posture, allowing your neck to move with ease. Let's take three more here. Now this is just the first step to finding that better posture. On your last one, I want you to stay up for a little bit longer, and we're just going to take a few pulses here, just tiny little squeezes, lifting that back up a little bit higher without bringing that lumbar back into the movement. We go for 3, 2. On 1, you're going to place your hands onto the mat underneath your shoulders. Let's tuck our toes under. Squeeze into that belly. Press yourselves into a half plank. And then send your hips back through child's pose one more time. Allow your head to drop and allow your back to relax down. Send the glutes to your heels. Release. We're going to come back up. I want you to flip over onto your glutes now. So we're coming to sitting. Now from here, I want you to be really tall. So once again, you have that string pulling you up. We're lengthened in our spine. We're going to send our arms forwards here. I want you to feel your sit bones really driving down into the mat. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. Feel long. Now from here, I want you to keep the feet planted on the mat. You're going to tuck the pelvis under as if someone is punching your lower belly. We're going to roll just halfway down onto the mat. So we're slightly off the sit bones now. From here, you're going to send one arm further away from you. Then I want you to rotate towards that arm. Look towards the back of your mat. Take a little twist here through the body. And then close that arm back over. Other side, we send the arm away. Twist, look to the back of your mat. And then bring that hand back forwards. Now we're gonna exhale as we twist. And inhale to bring that arm back. Now we focused on a lot of deep core movements last time. The transverse abdominals, the pelvic floor. Now this week we're adding a little bit of work through our obliques. Those are the muscles that help us twist, move side to side, move laterally. They help us pick things up. They help us reach across the body. Now they're really important for function. So as we move in this twist here, I want you to think of the entire torso moving. We're not moving from the arms, we're not moving from the head. The whole trunk, the powerhouse of the body is twisting around so that as you go through those movements in our day-to-day life, rather than straining the body, you're actually able to find that full movement through your torso so that we can move without injury and we can move with that ease I so often speak about. On that next one, you're gonna come back through center. I want you to send the sit bones down into the mat, re-stack back up. Let's just bring the soles of the feet together. Let's sit nice and tall. Drop your head to your chest and just begin to round through the spine and roll forwards for a little breath here. Allow your knees to gently open, reach your head down. Good. We're going to come back up, sit on those sit bones tall. Bring your feet forwards again. Reach those arms forwards again. Now I want you to sit really tall one more time. Let's take a big breath in here. Now as you exhale, you're going to scoop into that belly again, just like someone is punching you there. This time I want you to roll slightly further down, but not all the way. Now I want you to rotate your arms as if you're holding a lovely big beach ball here. Now from here, you're gonna rotate side to side. Again, we twist the entire torso. I want you to inhale with one twist and exhale with the other. Use that breath to help you find the depth in your movement. Check in that you're not bringing your shoulders to your ears. We're keeping them down. We're allowing the neck to stay lovely and long. Let's take just 4 more here. We go for 2. You're gonna take 1 more. I want you to come back through the middle. Pause, don't come up. You're gonna extend your legs long. You're gonna reach your arms long. We're gonna roll ourselves down all the way to lying. Reach your arms overhead. Let's just take a stretch through the body. So just allow the fingertips and toes to stretch away from each other. Good. Now from here, we're gonna place our feet onto the mat. I want you to have your hands by your side. Now we've already worked through some bridges in day number 1. Now I want to build a little bit on them. So feet are gonna plant down, heels are really close to your sit bones. Your hands are just gently pressing into the mat. From here, I want you to send your hips straight up into a bridge. So we engage the glutes, we bring our hips up. Now I don't want you to bring it into your lower back. So we're not arching that lower back and pressing up. You're keeping the engagement through the core. You should have a lovely incline from your shoulders up to your knees. We're gonna lower down to hover off our mat as we inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna come straight back up into that bridge. Use your breath, allow it to guide you. Inhale down, exhale to reach up. Now we're going to be building onto this bridge. I'm going to add a few layers on. As I add these layers on, you have the option to just stay where you are, or you can come with me and continue to add the layers as I move. So our first layer here, as our hips come back up into that bridge, you're going to float your heels off the mat so that you come onto the ball of your foot. Then you're going to float the heels back down and then go all the way back down to lower the bridge. So we come up, allow the heels to lift. Float the heels down, float the hips down. Same breath pattern. Exhale up, inhale down. Now as you move here, I want you to focus on what is initiating this movement. What I mean by that is as you're lifting your hips up, your glutes are firing, they're squeezing at the top. Then you're floating the heels, we're working into our calf muscles. We're lowering those heels, lowering those hips to reset the movement. You've got 3 more like this, and then I am gonna add 1 more layer on. Remember, you have the option to come with me, or you can just stay where we are. Don't hold that breath, continue to let it flow. Now we're gonna add that 3rd layer on. So from here, when you lift your hips and heels up, you're gonna pause. Now you're gonna open your knees out wide. Then I want you to bring the knees back into neutral, release the heels, lower the hips back down. So exhale to float up and open. Inhale to close and lower. Now by opening those knees out, we're taking a bigger movement for our abductors, our outer glutes. But then as we draw the knees together, you're squeezing into that inner thigh. You're working your adductors, so you're adding back into the movement. So we're taking it out of just glutes and calves, and we're now adding the inner thighs into the movement. Now the whole time your hands are gently pressing into the mat. Our collarbones are lovely and wide. Our shoulder blades are sinking down. We're keeping our neck nice and long. We should have a little tension through the upper body and really be focusing on the lower part of the body doing the work. You've got 2 more to finish us here. On your last one, I want you to just pause in your bridge, whether your heels are up or down, just pause in your bridge. We hold it. Feel really strong. Now go back to that core. Feel a light engagement into the stomach. Hold it here. Allow yourself to enjoy feeling strong for 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly release. Good. I want you to bring your feet out nice and wide and just gently drop your knees side to side, allowing your hips to release. Allow your lower back to release. Good. Now from here, we're going to focus and finish off with one last bit of core. So from here, I want you to bring your arms up to the ceiling. Now we're going to work through a few of the movements we did in week 1, but again, adding some layers. I want you to really gently float your feet in to tabletop. So your knees are over your hips, your shins are parallel with your mat. Now, if this feels too much for you today, just place your hands down by the side and just focus on the lower part of the body moving. If this is all right, I want you to tap your right toes down to the mat as you reach your left arm overhead. And then we draw everything back in to that starting position. Now exhale as you extend away. Inhale to draw it back in. Now, just like week 1, I want you to focus now on your neutral spine. Now remember, your neutral spine is not letting your back flatten into the mat, but it's also not letting it arch away. It's allowing it to be in that position that it would be in if your feet were just resting into the mat. Now, I like to think that you could place a nice small fruit between your lower back and the mat, so sort of where your sacrum is and the mat. Now that fruit size might be a blueberry, it might be a grape, depending on how your spine sits. But whatever size fruit you have, I want you to hold it there. Don't let it roll away. Don't squash it down. Just keep it gently resting there as you move so that you are no longer arching or flattening your back. You're keeping it still and in neutral. Now remember, you can just move the legs if you need to place your hands down if it is a little bit too much for you today. Now we're going to take 2 more here. On that next one, I want you to keep those legs in tabletop. Now if your hands are down, reach them back up now. We're going to grab onto our right leg. You're going to tuck your knee in towards your chest and you're going to extend your left leg out long. Now you can keep your head down if this is enough for you today. If you want a challenge, we're going to come up into a crunch, look to our belly. Now you're going to hold it in here for a second. Then I want you to switch to the other side and switch and switch. So you're extending one leg, bending the other. Now again, I'm going to add layers on. You can stay like this if this is enough. Remember, your head can stay down on the ground. We're focusing on that deep core connection. Now, if you want to add that second layer, you're going to bring your hands behind the head and just move those legs. So now we're supporting the neck, but we're also taking the arms away, so there's less support through the legs. Now again, you might want to stay here. Or if you want one last challenge, we're going to twist our opposite elbow to that opposite knee. We're going to bring that obliques back into the work. Again, we're going to find that twisting through the body. You might want to inhale as you twist one way, exhale the other. If you haven't come along on all the layers with me, I want you to just focus on allowing your breath to flow through the movement. We're here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On that next one, hug your knees into your chest, give them a tight squeeze, gently rock side to side. Allow your breath to release. Now we've worked through our core in a little bit more of a functional way. We've added those twists in, so we've really focused on how we can move with our twists to help us find that ease in our movement in our day. We've brought a little bit of awareness now into our posture, into that thoracic spine, and we've done a little bit more work through the glutes. So to finish off here, I want you to just extend your legs slightly further away from you. I want you to reach your arms overhead. Now allow your palms to come up towards the ceiling. Let's take your stretch through that upper body. Take an inhale. Now as you exhale, you're going to press your hands through the air. You're going to tilt your head to your chest. I want you to come up and grab onto the back of your thighs. Now in that position, just pause there for a second. Feel really strong. Then release back down. We're going to work into a roll up. I'm going to add these layers to help you. So inhale here, reach through those fingertips. Exhale, curl up. I want you to grab behind the thighs and just pull yourself up a little bit higher off the mat. And then release all the way back down. Same breath. We inhale at the bottom. Exhale each time. Now I want you to try pull yourself up a little bit higher. Now, if you find that is still too much for you today, another option here is that as you come up, you can bring your hands all the way down to your mat. You might want to grip onto your mat and just allow that grip on the mat to help you find that movement up. So we're just beginning to introduce those roll-ups into our vocabulary here. Now these roll-ups are allowing our spine to really move with a bit of mobility. At the same time, also that core is super active to find that function in the movement. So you've got your options. You can bring your hands behind the thighs and pull yourself up that way. Or you can hold on to your mat. And I don't mind for now that you use that gripping of the mat to just allow you to introduce this movement into the body. Now again, if these are still too much, you don't have to come all the way up. Just move through your own range. I want you to just take one more here. We're going to come back down to lying. We're going to extend our arms and legs out long again. I want you to take a lovely inhale through the body. Stretch the hands and the feet away from you, from each other. And then exhale, melt into your mat. Just drop your head side to side. Make sure there is no tension through your head. Let's bring our hands by our side. Let's place the palms into the mat. Now I want you to just shut your eyes down. We're just going to do a quick body scan here. So imagine you've got that string through the crown of your head. Someone is pulling that string, lengthening your spine. Our head stays in neutral. Our neck is lengthened. Check that you've got no tension through your shoulders. Your shoulder blades melt into the mat. Your collarbones smile out. They're really wide and open. Our hands are released down. Our arms are heavy. Now, rather than letting your ribs flare out, let's try to soften the ribs Soften the belly. Think of that neutral spine. The spine is lengthening. Your hips are sinking down. We've got nice level hips here. Your pelvis is heavy. You've got a neutral spine, so again, don't try to force yourself tucking that pelvis under, flattening your back. Don't try to arch it away. Just allow the heaviness of the pelvis to set that neutral spine for you. Your legs are lengthened out. They might be slightly rotating out, however they sit in your hip sockets here, but allow them to be heavy and grounded. Your feet fall out on the side as well, and again, they are just heavy and relaxed here. Now, as you move through your day today, I want you to think of that string through the crown of your head. Really feel that lovely posture that we've begun to set up. As we move into week number 3, we are going to be focusing a little bit more on our glutes and finding that deep glute connection. But for now, let's take one more inhale together. I want you to exhale, sink deeper, melt deeper into your mat. And we will leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you back on the mat for week 3. And again, if you've got any questions, any comments, you want anything else involved in these workouts, a comment goes a long way for us. So please comment, subscribe, like, do all of that. And thank you for practicing.